everybody, this is Jill Sabella with Sabella Styles. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fun Ghirardelli treat holder. And I was inspired by Julie DiMatteo, and she had a great video that helped me make this, so I thought I would show you my little version of that. We're using the Pop of Petals stamp set. We're actually using this stamp, kind of has that watercolor look, to go with the Garden Impressions 6x6 Designer Series paper stack. And it has all kinds of fun colors, so really you could do so much with that. But I'm just using this particular blue sheet here. And also the words that I used for the inside are from the Waterfront stamp set. And I just used the Friends Make the Good Times Better stamps. So let me set those aside and I can show you the pieces you will need. For the base, you need a piece of this, for what I did, Night of Navy cardstock, and it measures at 7.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches. And you will score that at 3/8 inches, 3/4 inches, 2 7/8 inches, 3 1/4 inches, and 5 3/8 inches. As always, these measurements will be at the end of the video too, so if you missed them, you can get them at the end. You will also need a piece of the Night of Navy cardstock in, this piece measures at 2 inches by 2 5/8 inches, and this one measures 2 inches by 3 1/8 inches. You'll also need a piece of Whisper White that measures at 1 7/8 by 2 1/2. And then for my project, I used a piece of the Designer Series paper, and it measures at 2 inches by 2 5/8 inches. Also, you'll need a piece of the Navy gingham ribbon, and it measures about 6 inches long. Here, all folded. This, you see, you have the smaller sections over here, and then you'll need this last tab. What you're going to do is you're going to use our Tailor Tag Punch to create a little slit in here, or slot, I don't know what you call it. But you see I'm just doing about 1/8 of an inch up, centering it. You kind of have to eyeball it centering it between the score line and the end, and just punch it out. So you'll have a little notch there, you see that? And then you'll do the same exact thing on the other side. You'll just have to, again, kind of eyeball it. Then the next thing you want to do, I'm going to set that aside just for a second, and you're going to need your paper trimmer. And what you'll do is you'll take a quart-size bag. I've already used this one. In the case when you started out, you'll need to trim the bottom off the bag so that you kind of have the bag open on the bottom. But what you're going to do is set it down on your paper trimmer just under a 1/2 inch, maybe. So you're maybe doing like 3/8 inch, and you set that down and and then place the arm down and go ahead and just slice, and it really will slice right off. And you have this kind of strip of the edge of the bag. And then what you're going to do is take your paper snips and just cut that off. You'll end up with 2 pieces, so that when you want to make several of these, you'll have 2 every time you slice the bag, but you only need 1. So I'm going to set the other one aside. We do not need it. And what you're going to do is place a little piece of our tear and tape. Sorry, I didn't have it over here. All right, the tear and tape, and what you're going to do with that is place a little piece on the edge. Oh, I cannot find my end. Okay, I know it's hard for you to see in the video. Maybe on the navy. Okay, so you're just putting a little piece. Let me do it so then I can pick it up and show you. Little piece of tear and tape right on the edge. Make sure it does not hang over the edges, but you're putting that little piece of tear and tape just on the very edge of the strip of the bag. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece that you have, again, all those score lines are down here, the 2 notches you created. You will fold it over, so you're kind of on the back side. Place this piece here. You're not sticking it down because the sticky's on this side, but you're holding it with your thumb. Take the bottom portion and bring it around, wrap it around to meet that top that you're holding. And you'll go ahead before you need to remove this top portion so we expose the adhesive. And then we're going to hold it a little bit snug, not like super tight, just so there's some movement, but somewhat snug. And we're just going to meet that other piece down here and adhere it like that. And again, make sure that that's still up there, that area that has the adhesive on it. We're going to trim off the bottom, a little excess piece here. Oh, it's hard to do when I'm holding it down up in the air. Okay. Ah, my goodness. Hello. Okay. So I've got that piece, that little excess cut off, and you're going to put another piece of tear and tape right over the area where the previous one was. So, oops, I didn't make it big enough. Oh dear. Hold on. Let's fix that. I'm going to try to peel it off and expose the sticky and then just do it again. Okay. Just need a little bit bigger of a piece. Again, you do not want it to hang over, but you do want it to make its way across the entire piece. Okay, there you go. That's fine. So I got a little piece there. Then I will flip my piece of Night of Navy over, and I'm going to put another piece at the bottom on the back side. So same exact thing, just opposite side. Okay. So there you have that. And then we can set that aside for a moment while we get our pieces ready. So our piece with the Night of Navy, we're going to take the larger piece and we're going to take the scallop tag topper punch and just punch out the, oh, it should slide in there. Just punch out the one edge, just like so. So you've got that great spot where we can put our ribbon in. And then the next thing we're going to do is round all the corners of our pieces. On this one, you only need to do these two because this is already rounded. I am using the reverse punch on the envelope punch board to do the corners. I'm also going to do our piece of Whisper White, do those corners. So that is done. And then again, while we have our stamp pads out and our stamps, we're going to go ahead and stamp some of the flowers and punch them out. We're going to do 2 in the Mango Melody. Sorry for my hands totally being in the video, but 2 of that color. And then we're going to do 1 of the So Saffron and punch these out. I don't know if you noticed, but when I did my stamping, I had marked a black line showing me that that's the top of the stamp so that it matches up clearly when I punch, and I'm not trying to find the right match every time I'm punching. It goes a lot faster. And then I just kind of curve the edges. You can use your bone folder to curve them before you do it, but I find that's just as easy. So I'm going to set that aside for a minute. We've already done that, and that's ready to go. We've got our piece stamped here. And now let's go ahead and put our mechanism together. Actually, one more thing I forgot. I'm going to put this piece on, mount it onto the Night of Navy, the smaller piece that is rounded on all 4 sides. That way it's all ready when we're ready to put our card together. So, okay, so you've got your piece. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to set it this way. This is the bottom part where we had all the little smaller score lines, and this is the part where we had put our paper or Ziploc bag part here. So we're going to fold this down here, and then this area is where we're going to put the Night of Navy piece with the scallop tag topper. What you want to do first is just tear off the adhesive from the tear and tape. Oh. Okay, this is where I need my take your pick tool and not these terrible nails of mine, but I don't have it. It's over on the other table in my room and I don't want to walk over and get it. So what you're going to do is place this on and center it, left, right, top, bottom. It's just slightly smaller than the actual piece underneath, and get that nice and pressed down. And then the other piece is going to go underneath. Actually, when you slide the mechanism out, it's going to come this way. Okay, so you're holding it this way, it's going to come in and out of here. So we need to make sure that we place it down, face down. So that's the proper, so if it's going to slide this way, then it's going to be adhered that way. So I'm going to set it down here while I remove the adhesive. Again, not a good idea to not have my take rip tool. And then same thing as the front, center it left and right, top and bottom, and it's slightly smaller. Just get that nice and pressed down. So here's our mechanism we have. It's going to be hard to see, but this is basically what it is, and it should slide out. And the next thing we need to do, so we have our piece here like this, and we will flip it over and put some adhesive just in this last little tab of 3/8 inch. We'll put some of the tear and tape there, all the way to the edge. So again, so this is where we put our first tab, and this is our second tab, and we're just putting adhesive right on that first fold that you can see, if you can see that. And this is the little bit of tricky part, but hopefully you can follow it. What you're going to do is this is the way you want this treat to look. And if you can see the scallop area, when you flip it down here, kind of has an open spot. What you're going to do is you're going to want to put this piece in there. Oh gosh, it's so hard to tell. Okay, so you're going to just gently tuck this piece underneath the scallop tag topper and adhere it, if that makes sense. Oh gosh, I hope it does. So I'm going to remove the top of the tear and tape, and we'll go ahead and just do it. This is bad. I can't get that off. Okay, cool. All right, so again, you've got your little scallop tag topper one. You're going to fold this over, and you're going to put it right in between where the tag topper is and this front piece. So you're going to slide it right in there, and then just meet it up with the edge of the front. And then I find it best to fold it down so that I can just burnish it. Okay, so there you go. There's your mechanism. Oh, I flipped it over. Oop. So that is the mechanism, and it all works. Hopefully that made sense to you. If not, you can rewind the video. The next thing we want to do is put our ribbon through our tag topper. And Julie DiMatteo had the great way to do this ribbon. If you don't like the way I'm doing it, you can always fold your ribbon in half, weed it through like we do, and tuck it through the loop. But she had a really cool way to do this wrap. So she took, this is the front. You will string this through the back of the hole. So if you can't follow this, I had to rewind hers a couple times, but she did a great job. Wrap this around to front, meet it back in the back. Oh gosh, my video is just not as good as hers, but I'm doing my best. Then you will thread it down through the bottom. If I can get it. Still trying to make sure I'm in the video while I'm watching myself. And then bring it up and bring it through this loop again. Get it. Okay, you see bringing it through this loop. This is a better angle maybe, if my big fingers aren't covering it. Oh my heavens. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then I like to we'll pull it up, meet it up to the next one, and kind of just hold this down while we shimmy it. Not too tight, we don't want to rip it out, but just get it a little bit snug there so it doesn't come out, slide off. And then we'll just trim the edges just a little bit. Okay. All right, so there's our mechanism. It's going to hold our candy. Let's decorate the front. This is the piece of our Garden Impressions Designer Series paper. We're just going to place that on the front. Just a little edge showing. And then, actually, oh, here it is. We need a piece of our, oh my goodness, is this soft seafoam? Yes, soft seafoam green. We're going to punch out with a leaf punch. Just a little, one leaf. That's all we really need for this one. And so that's our leaf punch. You see it? Okay, there it is. And what I'm going to do is glue dot that just on the corner. So the mini glue dot. And kind of place it like right about there. And then I'll go ahead and put our already assembled little set of flowers. And I did put a couple glue dots on the back of that, just just to make sure it stayed. So just put a couple of glue dots there and place it right in the center there. Okay, and then we will put our candy in it. If I can, oh my goodness, find my candy. Hold on one second. So here's one. Okay, so this is our Ghirardelli chocolates, and we're going to need to place it in this spot, but we're going to keep it closed. I'll show you how to do it. And you'll take 2 glue dots, or just put a couple glue dots on the other side of the candy. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, this is where it needs to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide it. We're going to close it up. We're going to gently slide it, pushing on the bottom so we don't get those little adhesive stuck, just to get it slid in there and make sure that it's centered so we can't really see it. And then once it's in there, ooh, press it down. And it should be stuck to that, centered nicely on that little tab that we have. Here, it's better if I do this. There we go. And then the final touch is our gold faceted gems. We're going to use one of the little ones and just place it in the middle of our beautiful flower. And there you have it. There's your little Ghirardelli treat holder.